Hey, the other thing that came in this week from Lionel that is historically significant I wanted to share with you were the Lionel milk cars right here. Now, at the beginning of milk trains, Henry Harrison, the only Indiana president, was the president of the United States. And there would be milk trains all over New England, particularly upstate New York, Connecticut, stuff like that. The railroads would build a platform out in the country, and a farmer would take his raw milk, put it in a can, and set it on the dock, if you will. And then the train would come and open up the doors, and they would grab all the cans and take them to the dairy to be processed, right? And those cans, milk cans, I'm sure you've seen them. They're pretty heavy, about 150 pounds loaded. They tended to tip the can on its side and roll it to move it around. They had about 68 quarts was the size of one of those milk cans. And then they would take them into these facilities and process them. These facilities had a huge number of employees. I was reading about one the other day in upstate New York, had 4,000 people working there. Can you imagine that? 4,000 people. At the peak of Kellogg's employment, making cereal in Battle Creek, Michigan, they didn't have 4,000 people. So one milk plant has 4,000 people. Now, what are these people doing? Well, to be honest, they're spending an enormous amount of time cleaning those milk cans and sanitizing them and sending them back. Sending them in, sending them back. They did a lot of that, right? And then they would, as they processed the milk, they would re-put it in those cans and put it back on the train, and it'd go into New York City or wherever, right? Along came an inventor, and what he decided to do would be a lot more efficient if we put a tank inside the car. Actually, they put a pair of tanks, and each tank could hold, what was it again, 3,000 gallons, roughly?
Yes.
So when Lionel went to make these milk cars, somebody there agreed, I don't know how, to come up with the tooling to simulate those tank cars on the inside of these Lionel milk cars. And so what they could do then is pump the milk into these tanks and then shovel in ice if it was warm time of year, and keep it cool as it moved on its journey. I think they're fabulous. I think these cars were invented by Pullman in Chicago. I'm not 100% sure. I have to reread that. But I'm going to give him credit for it till somebody comes along and tells me I'm wrong, which happens a lot. But anyway, these tanks are in here. Now, what that did for the milk processing industry is it dramatically reduced the labor that was required to process milk, which, by the way, brought the price of milk way down, so it was affordable by families, and that led to the wild growth of milk production. The other interesting thing about this is we didn't see these kind of cars in the Midwest generally. This was an East Coast thing. And I asked a historian about that, and he said, well, by the time milk production like this got rolling in size in the Midwest, we had trucks. And it was a lot more cost effective to build a tank truck to haul milk, pick up milk and haul milk than it was to put them in railroad cars. The largest milk tank producers are still in Wisconsin, and they make a tremendous number of trailers up there, semi-trailers, that'll haul milk. If you travel through Wisconsin, I'm sure you'll see them, hauling it from farms to processing. Okay, now these cars were first introduced by Lionel in 2006. I think I got my first pile about Christmas of 2006. And then they made several runs and stopped about 2008, 2009. And then I think in the 2015 catalog, they cataloged 4 more of the milk cars, I believe. B&O, another New York Central, I think the Boston and Maine. And they were never produced. And so then along last year with the catalog, we got another pile of road names in milk cars. And in the release we just received, putting this back on here with my glasses on, and the run we just received, there are 14 different road names. Pretty exciting. So anyway, these are the milk cars. I like to pull them behind my Boston and Maine Berkshire over here. And when we do our live video today at 2 o'clock, I'm gonna run that Berkshire with milk cars. Liz has shown them to you. And come out here for a second on my shelves. Some of the older runs of the milk cars you can still find on eBay every now and then. It's worth looking for them. Up here on our shelves, the top 5 rows are the previous releases of the milk cars by Lionel. Looks like one's off its track piece up there. But you can get a chance to see what they look like. They made some of them in 2-car sets, some of them in 3-car sets, and the New York Central ones were all part of a New York Central milk set. I think it came with a Niagara or a Mohawk. I'm not sure, I remember which, but we had quite a few of them. Really glad to have them. While we're touring the wall, right below that are the Atlas 53-foot, 6-inch refrigerated cars, and I really love these, and there are some being made. We've got a new release coming out probably early this year of the 53-foot wood-sided milk cars, and I love those too. So anyway, a little bit on the Lionel milk cars for you. I have quite a few and in stock at the store, and Lionel's got extras of pretty much everything, maybe not Rutland, but I think they'll be very popular. So anyway, thanks for listening. Get yourself a milk car.